what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Slayin with Radio podcast. I am your host, Radioslay. This podcast is a quick hitting one, meaning the episodes only last about 10 minutes or so. We cover all different types of topics, including life, sports, current events, you name it, we will cover it. Today's episode has to deal with pricing, specifically with video games, how it used to be, how it is now. uh, I go back way back in the day of the days of Atari and Nintendo, so I can remember ever since I was little, saving up money, going out to buy a new game. And I think back then games were about like $30 or $40 or something like that. So saving your allowance, buying the new Nintendo game out there, and then racing home, popping it in the console and start playing it for hours and hours at a time. And then you had it, right? You owned it for eternity, until you sold it or traded or lost it or whatever the case is. Um, much different nowadays. We're in the digital age. Obviously, the internet is now an essential, and gaming is just gone in a completely different direction. A lot of us now are downloading our games after purchase. There's no physical copy that you actually pop into your console or install on your computer. It's all done through the internet. And pricing has drastically changed from back in the 80s and 90s now till today. um, Again, with those old you know physical copies, whether it was a cartridge or a CD or whatever the case is, you bought it, one time purchase, you have it until again you do whatever you do with it. Um, now a lot of games are either again purchased digitally, same way that you do with the physical copy, except you just don't own that physical copy anymore, or they're free, and it's kind of crazy if you went back in time, 15, 20, 30 years ago and said, "Hey, games are free," you would have been ecstatic. And now it's like a norm, right? A lot of games are free to play, and obviously it's only a part of the game, right? You're not going to get the full entire game for free. um what companies are doing, as many of you know, are doing one or two things with it, right? They're going to be either a plugging in some types of subscription, so you can play part of the game, and then if you like it you can sign up for the subscription and then play for however long the game lasts for. Or there's microtransactions within the game. Um, and that will just kind of enhance the game, the free game, to unlock things like, weapon skins or new character models, different coloring or shading, other things like that. And unfortunately, there's another component to that, which is pay to win, which, that's a whole different topic in itself. Um, Looking back at the two different pricing models, I actually favor what's happening right now. I might be in the minority of that. I do like this free to play, you know, model that they have right now, as opposed to the what I'll call the old school days of going out and spending. Now it's reaching up north of $70 for a base copy, triple digits if you're going for some limited edition collector's edition uh, game. And the reason for that is we've all been in the position of going out, spending our hard-earned money on a game, popping it in, and finding out we just don't like it for whatever the reason is. Maybe the game wasn't made great, maybe it just wasn't for us. So now we're stuck with this, you know, 60, $70 game. And when we try to go ahead and sell it back or trade it in, it's worth half the value it was that you paid for it. So you essentially lost, 30, $40 or whatever it is. Whereas these free to play games, you can download it obviously for free and try it out. See if you like it. It's almost like a trial run, right? See if you like it. And then if you do like it, you're hooked, you're a fan, then you could decide if you want to spend, the $10 subscription a month, or the buying a battle pass for $10 or whatever the price is. And then you can put your money that way. That way you're allocating your resources to a game you like, you're a fan of, as opposed to almost taking a risk and buying a game and ended up disliking it for whatever the reason is. I think it's a brilliant move by companies. If you're in the company shoes, um, you're advertising this free to play game, and anytime people hear the word free, they're in, right? They're going to go ahead, they're going to download it, they're going to play it, they're going to try it out, and you hooked them, you know? Again, not everybody's going to start shelling out money for your microtransactions and your subscriptions or whatever it is, but you're going to get a good chunk of them. So I think it is a smart move. Again, I might be in the minority of this whole thing, but I think it's a smart move both for the consumer as well as the companies themselves, because I think it could be a great way of earning revenue as a company. I think it's a great way for the video game player to experience the game, get a trial run, get a taste of it, and then decide if they want to put their hard-earned money towards that game to unlock, additional features to it, or if they want to, have different skins, like a game like Fortnite, unlocking a battle pass, like in Call of Duty. So um, I really think it's going in a direction that would be beneficial to a lot of video game players so they can get that taste of it. And then, speaking of subscriptions, I mean, Xbox and PlayStation's not too far behind of really promoting and having some success with what's called their Game Pass for Xbox. I'm an Xbox owner, so I'm very familiar with it, where you do pay that subscription every month, but in turn, you get a lot of access to free games. Again, to try it out, maybe you want to buy the copy, which they do give you a discount for doing so. Or, if you're pretty good at a certain game, you can beat it from start to finish for free. And I should say free because you're still technically paying for it, but at a fraction of the cost as opposed to paying, the $60, $70 for it. So um, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Are you in favor of buying the physical game or the digital full version of a game up front and not have to worry about any microtransactions or cost, even though some of those games still have those in addition to buying that full price game? Or do you like this free to play method? Where you be able to download the game for free, you get kind of the shell of the game, early access to certain things, and then you can decide if you want to purchase the subscription or go ahead and do some microtransactions. And do you like the Game Pass method or I think it's the PlayStation Plus? I'm not too familiar with PlayStation. I think that's what it's called. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Um, do you like that where you can have access to a select amount of games that you can play as part of that subscription? So, gamers out there, love to know what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you, the good, the bad, the ugly, as well as anything else that you want me to talk about in a future podcast. I'd love to hear some additional ideas that I could cover. Um, if you want to talk to me out live, I'm on the Twitch platform, 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays, and then Wednesdays and Fridays, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Times are my normal live times out on Twitch. Feel free to follow me on the social media outlets above. Like, follow, subscribe. I'd love to hear from you. But guys, we are just about out of time. So remember, as always, please do something nice for someone out there. Stay hydrated. We'll catch you on the next episode of Slaying It with Radio.